The last time we saw the iPhone in a speed test, it was barely able to squeak out a win against the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max, Apple isn't just looking to win, but to dominate, saying that the A18 Pro chip has the fastest CPU in any smartphone. On top of that, they claim that the iPhone's new mechanical architecture improves heat dissipation for up to 20% better sustained performance, along with a 17% increase in total memory bandwidth. Of course, the Galaxy has some advantages of its own. It's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, it has 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it's had over 8 months of software optimizations. Will the iPhone live up to what synthetic benchmarks would have you believe, or will the Galaxy show us that real-world performance is the only thing that matters? Let's find out. Alright, we'll kick things off by starting the stopwatches on each phone and then jumping into the first row, where, as you'd expect with flagship phones like these, there isn't much of a delta in Facebook or in Starbucks, with them being neck and neck here in Microsoft Word, where just like with the lightweight apps, the two perform identically. And in Excel, it's pretty much the same thing. It's insane how close these things are right now, with them each flipping to the selfie cam, snapping a portrait, and then waiting for that portrait to finish processing, where, again, they perform almost identically. But here in Snapseed, we see our first difference, with the Galaxy loading that photo into the app significantly faster, it applies those two filters faster, and wow, it just rips through the export, whereas on the iPhone, it's struggling a bit, actually doing it slower than the iPhone 15 Pro Max did, which is kinda odd. So I don't know if it's an iOS 18 thing, but it was consistent in all of our trials, and it gives the Galaxy a huge advantage, with it already wrapping up with the video export and LumaFusion. But the good news for the iPhone is the A18 Pro chip does look like it's exporting the video at a faster rate. The iPhone does have to do a double swipe to exit the app, where the Galaxy didn't have to do a double swipe, so the iPhone's got its work cut out for it. But with it loading Google Trends at a faster rate and now working on the gaming row, where the iPhone has always seemed to have an advantage, a comeback isn't necessarily out of the question. However, at least through Subway Surfers, the iPhone wasn't able to make up any ground. The Galaxy was actually slightly faster, and there was zero difference between the two in flip diving. But in going balls, the iPhone does load the app significantly faster, while the Galaxy stutters a bit in forward assault, allowing the iPhone to essentially make the comeback as both load the game, and from the looks of it, it's pulled ahead, finishing the gaming row first and moving on to the last row. So a huge turn of events, and a chance for the iPhone to create some real separation between the two. And with the Galaxy seeming to load ESPN at a slower rate, the iPhone might just be able to lock it in. But wait, the Galaxy looks like it's loading Disney Plus at a faster rate, so it might be able to make a last-second comeback if it can load Amazon at a faster rate, which it does, sneaking up on the iPhone last second, with both phones finishing that first lap with a time of 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So wow, not the results I was expecting, especially since the iPhone 15 Pro Max beat the Galaxy by a second earlier this year. I really thought that we'd only see an improvement on it with the 16 Pro Max. Obviously, this is a different test, with all of these apps also having received a bunch of updates since then, let alone the OSs themselves getting updates. But either way, this result was consistent across all of our trials. And while the iPhone does get the step over the Galaxy in the second lap due to not having as many double swipes, for me personally, unless one of these apps fails to stay open in the background, the first lap is the one that really matters. And for that reason, with both phones having all 16 apps open and ready to go, I'm gonna have to call this one a tie. Anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.